You might call this hilarious news. You might call it breaking news. You might call it difficult to explain news.
Hard to comprehend news?
You might call it fantastic news.
Depending on who you are.
Grant Hughes was the first I saw reporting it. Others have corroborated the story. Grant Hughes of 247 Sports. Bill Belichick, 6-time Super Bowl champion winning former head coach of the New England Patriots, interviewed for the UNC football head coaching vacancy. And he has interviewed since the Mac Brown firing, which took place, essentially a week ago. Week and change. I took that commercial break to recalibrate my thoughts on this news, and also look for connections. So with a handful of minutes now to gather my thoughts, I have a few angles that I think need to be evaluated. One, do you know who is Bill Belichick's, and I know this from podcasts, he's been all over the media in the last year since he left coaching. Do you know who is his all-time favorite player in the history of his coaching career? It's the one that, it's not Brady if that's where you're going.
Matthew Slater.
The one that he compares everyone else to, and every time somebody wants to hype up one of his players, he goes, well, he's no blank.
Lawrence Taylor?
Yep. He was the defensive coordinator under Parcells for the Giants when they won their Super Bowls, and the guy that he turned into a star and turned him into a star, might be the better way to put it, was Lawrence Taylor. And if at any point in time you get like too far praising Aaron Donald, too far praising a defensive end, a TJ Watt, a Myles Garrett, you just hear him go like, well, he's no Lawrence Taylor. It's just, And then where did Lawrence Taylor go? UNC, connection. Next angle. This shows how wide the net is for UNC. Bill Belichick is not like anyone else that could have potentially interviewed for this job. They're like John Sumrall, the head coach of Tulane, who reportedly interviewed, and Bill Belichick they're both football coaches, and that's about where the similarities end. That's like saying, hey, I played putt-putt, so
Me and Tiger Woods.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no disrespect to John Sumrall. That's a compliment to Bill Belichick. The other thing it does is it shows how much of a psycho Bill Belichick is.
All right. There's one way to put it.
The dynasty or the legacy of Bill Belichick is secure. There's no reason. Being a college coach is not some small undertaking, right? This is not, hey, I retired last year. I got kind of bored, so I'm going to do some consulting work. This is, let me sign up for the long days of grinding tape of high schoolers from all over the country to offer them scholarships. He is a true, and this is coming from, I consider myself a sports psycho. He is a true other level of sports psycho if he actually wants to be a college head coach right now, regardless of where. Next. I've got these thoughts here. For those of you maybe saying, wait a second, we just fired a legendary 70-something-year-old coach. Why would you go back to a legendary 70-something-year-old coach? He is not Mac Brown. There are levels to this thing. And this is, I hate when people, you casual, you layman. I'm going to say it. Casuals might not see the difference. Right, two guys, they've won championships, they, well-respected in the industry. They're similar. There's levels to this. There's an inner circle to an inner circle to an inner circle that Bill Belichick is a part of when it comes to coaching. Mac Brown is outer tier of those circles. He's great, and he's better than 99.999% of coaches in the history of football. But Bill Belichick is better than 99.9999999. Right? It's Ring of Honor complex. I'm not insulting Mac Brown. I'm not going to explain Ring of Honor complex. I've done it a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
If you need me to, you can hit me up on social media. Another take. In the small chance that it happens, I still think just because one interview took place, it's not like he doesn't become the betting favorite. Dennis, you report. What was it? The News and Observer
Yes.
reported that it is unlikely to happen because UNC maybe wouldn't be super excited to sign up for somebody that age.
So again, I'll read the post here from Andrew Carter of the News and Observer. Source confirms Inside Carolina report that Bill Belichick interviewed for the UNC head coaching vacancy, saying, quote, he blew them away in the interview. Also added, am told Belichick's interest is high and genuine, but extremely unlikely to happen due to his age, being 72, and lack of college experience. So that is what Andrew Carter is reporting.
So let's go under the assumption, just for a conversation's standpoint, that it is a possibility, but it is extremely unlikely. I think that's a fair way to go about it right now. The chances are better now than they were before he interviewed, but still a huge underdog.
You think about Bill Belichick, though, he was also basically general manager for the Patriots for a long time as well. Now with revenue sharing and stuff, I mean, like, if there's actually someone fit to do it, maybe it is him because he had experience of not only coaching players, but also how to handle the money side of things. He's done that, and he's not afraid to be like, no, you're gone. Maybe he might be fit for it. Who knows?
If it happens, in the small percentage that it does, UNC is going to have to think outside the box. This is not like, if you want a traditional college football coach hire, go get someone else. This one would require thinking outside the box and setting up a situation that is different. He is 72 years old. He's been coaching a very long time. He brings in a level of celebrity and buzz that'll be different, but you would have to set it up differently as well. I said this during the last segment, and I believe it even more now. I don't think you bring him in unless part of the original deal is a succession plan. If you're 72 years old, no disrespect to anyone of that age, the potential length of your tenure is less than many of the other candidates. Now, here's where it gets interesting, and here's the thought that I connected during the commercial break. His son, Steve Belichick, is the defensive coordinator right now at Washington. What if, and now, again, I'm inferring, I'm playing the what if game, I'm trying to be creative here. What if Bill Belichick becomes the head coach of the UNC Tar Heels, and part of his agreement is he hires his son, Steve Belichick, as the defensive coordinator of the University of North Carolina Tar Heels, and there's an understanding, maybe even a contractual situation, signed, sealed, delivered, that when Bill Belichick decides to retire or he's done coaching, Steve Belichick would take over. Thus, recruits would know, hey, I'm committing to an older guy, but at least I know, someone with the last name Belichick will be my head coach for the 4 years I'm on campus. Is that unprecedented? Maybe. Is a 6-time Super Bowl champion coach taking a college football interview unprecedented? I think so. Should UNC pounce at the opportunity to see this through? I don't see how you don't. I don't see how you go, yeah, we talked to Bill Belichick. He, what was the report? He blew him away in the interview? Mm-hmm. That also from News and Observer? Or is that?
News and Observer.
I just want to make sure we're giving the proper accreditation. He blew them away in the interview? How do you say, like, Bill Belichick interviewed and was as good as advertised, but I'm going to roll with the defensive coordinator from Georgia? Like, how? What? I think now that it's out, now that you've tugged on the string, you have to keep pulling. You have to see where it ends.